After discussing the Shohei Ohtani issue with a few people much more tuned into the daily baseball matters than I, or any of us for that matter, two things kept popping up. First, cultural differences. Ohtani simply may just be the veritable deer in the headlights when it comes to money matters. Now, when it comes to managing money, most pro athletes know as much about financial responsibility as they do about how to remove the fungus from the bottom of their shower shoes without throwing said shoes in the garbage. There is also a greater and deeper level of trust among the Asian culture, leading to the possibility Ohtani had no clue as to what the interpreter was doing with the bank account, and if he did find out about it, he was too naive to see a line of breaking rules. And just because he can hit 300 doesn't mean he could score 300 on a money managing quiz. For some athletes, they'd be fortunate to hit 30, but I digress. Second is the lack of past evidence that Ohtani was a gambler at any level. Okay, now let us not be so naive. Plenty of gamblers hide their addiction from anybody and everybody. However, with a client this famous, if he was doing it himself, somebody would have known. And if he was using this mouthpiece as a proxy, again, someone would have found out before this. Or so you would think. You see, bookies aren't exactly Mensa candidates themselves. There's just too many loose threads at the moment for anybody to come to any real conclusion as to what actually happened. Therefore, everything right now is conjecture, even with Ohtani's statement. My colleagues all agree that the most noteworthy part of this is the speed with which MLB acted in launching an investigation and working with the feds to get to the bottom of it. There also was no hesitation among my crew that if the slightest impropriety exists, Ohtani will be bounced, and hard. Now that MLB is in cahoots with gamblers, they have to be harsh with every single crackdown. If they do not take serious action, then everybody will know what we already suspect. Gambling is far too integrated in the MLB culture with far too much money at stake, and the game will be willing to look away from the real problems it has created for itself, and that is the greater story here. MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, all the rest, they decided to get in bed with gamblers, so their integrity is now sleeping with the fishes. What was once forbidden is now for profit. We are not even at the true incept point of what this will cause. You see, studies show that nearly half of all Americans have gambled in the past year. 20% placed a sports bet. 2 to 4 million adults will experience a gambling disorder in their lifetime. That's just the surface. So if you think organized sports, pro and amateur, are immune from the weak-willed whims of inveterate gamblers, hey, maybe you should be Ohtani's next interpreter. Trust there won't be many more problems to come, more game-fixing accusations, more illegal shifting of funds, more allegations of breaking state and federal laws over point spreads? Don't bet on it. Then you are the sucker. I'm Ed Berliner, speaking of sports.